Hi folks, welcome back to another episode of the Single Dad's Cookbook. Today we're going to be making a New Year's Day steak pie. Now this is quite traditional in Scotland, where on the first day of the new year most people have steak pie. I'll be honest, most people are normally out first footing at the pub, but and we come home to a nice hearty steak pie. Now for this, quite traditional, quite straightforward, you're going to need some beef, which you're just going to cover it in flour, and you want to drench this in flour because that's what's actually going to thicken up your gravy. And this is a good thing to have because you can actually have it on the stove, cooking away, stewing away, while you are out first footing, and you can then come back to it. Into the flour, I'm just going to add some salt, some pepper, and some smoked paprika. And I want to take this opportunity to say Happy New Year. I hope your 2023, where has the time flying, is everything that you want it to be. And this is the first day where you can actually make 2003 whatever you want it to be. So I wish you all the best for that. If you are new to the channel, please like and subscribe. If you watch the videos but haven't subscribed yet, please make that your New Year's resolution to subscribe. It costs you nothing, but means the world to me. So let's see what we can do here. So all I'm doing is I'm mixing all that beef in the container that it comes in, just so that there's less washing up to do. And then I'm just going to pop that to the side. Now, this steak pie is, like I said, very traditional. It's got a few ingredients, nothing over the top. And I'm going to start off with some leeks. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to slice them into quarters. Then, once I've done that, I'm going to slice them into battens, 3 or 4, depending on how thick it is. Then I'm just going to hold it all together and then run my knife through it. And you can see there, it's going to be little bits of leek. The reason for this is the leek will actually disintegrate into the gravy and thicken it up as well. Once you've done that, grab yourself a plate and just pop it on that plate. Once you've done that, onto the onion. And again, you're just thinly slicing the onion into little bits. Whatever your preferred method is, you guys have seen me do this loads of times. Get to the end, the quarter, then flip it, and then just run your knife through it again. Stack it back up. The onion has already got layers on it. I'm sure a famous ogre once said that. And you can just easily run your knife through it and it gives you little bits. So if you're not that confident in your knife skills, take your time, do this, and you can see there I'm just showing you the different layers. They're already done. So the thinner you make the cross section, then the thinner you can make, and this cross section I suppose means you've got a nice fine onion there. So let's chop the onion up, get that on the plate. Any big bits, again, you're just going to slice that through. With this, again, the onion will cook through, it'll become translucent and it'll thicken up your sauce, your gravy. So we'll just get rid of that. Then we're going to go on to the garlic. I've got 4 garlic cloves here and I'm just going to thinly slice them. Making sure that you've got a really sharp knife and you're just going to pop it along. The reason for that, and again, you want to keep your knuckle flat against the blade and just take your time. It doesn't have to be super fast. Again, just take your time with it. Nice and straightforward. Once you've got them, again, pop them on the plate. Now this is where the next bit is completely down to you. With carrots, I quite like them because everything else is going to disintegrate into the gravy. It really depends on you and how your family are. If your family like carrots, like mine do, I keep them this size. If they didn't, I'd probably cut them into little squares, similar sizes to the onion and the leek, and they would break down into the sauce as well. The carrots will add a sweetness to the overall dish for you. So we're just going to cut them up. Guys, 2022 was the first full year of the channel, and I mentioned it in my Christmas message. It blew me away, honestly. The comments, how far we came in such a short period of time, and I've got big plans coming. So if you are new to the channel, please do subscribe. If you've watched for a while and you've not subscribed yet, again, please subscribe. Hit that little notification bell. Hit the likes, because it all just means that it shows me that you are still wanting me to keep continuing. You can see here now, I'm just browning off the beef. I've done it in two different batches. The reason for that, you don't want to overload your pan, because it drops the temperature. That was hot oil. See the bits there at the bottom? Just pop in your second batch. That's the bit, the gnarly bits at the bottom, that's what you're looking for, because that's just all flavour. So we'll get all that in. Once you've cooked your meat, you still see those gnarly bits at the base. You want to put all that veg that you've chopped up, apart from the carrots. Now, if you don't like carrots, like I said earlier, what you do want to do is you want to put the carrots in now, because then they'll all break down. And all we're going to do is we're going to sweat off the onion, the leek and the garlic, and just until it starts to perfume. And you'll know what I mean if you cook it this way. The garlic starts to release its oils, and it's absolutely beautiful. So once we've done that, after a few minutes of doing that, I'm adding in these carrots. And again, I'm just going to then let them cook out for a little bit. Any loose bits of leek that are still on the board there, let's get them in as well. So I'm just mixing that all round, and then we're just going to leave that for a little bit. To this, I'm going to add some pepper. I'm not adding salt, because we're going to add in some beef stock. So you want to add in some pepper, but not salt, because you don't want it to be over salty. And you've already added that in. Looks like I did add a little bit of salt in there. Oh well, even I can't remember. So salt and pepper, you want to get the salt and pepper going into that. Once you've done that, this is where you now want to add in your mixed herbs. So probably a good 2 dessert spoons, maybe 3 dessert spoons of the mixed herbs. It's just like your Italian seasoning. It's marjoram, thyme, basil, sage, oregano in there. So you're just putting that through. Once that's all cooked out, you're going to now add in your beef back in that you can brown, and you see the colour on that beef, absolutely beautiful. Give that a mix. Let that just pick up any bits, residual bits off the bottom of the pan. Once it's well mixed in, you want to go and grab some tomato paste, and then on your wooden spoon, again it's probably 1 dessert spoon of tomato paste that you want to get in there. So a good old splurge, there you go, 1 dessert spoon. Give that a mix so you've got that nice rich tomato base texture running through the dish as well. And once you've mixed all that in, you're almost done. All we've got to do now is just going to add in some liquid. And to that liquid, it is beef stock. I'm adding about 2 pints of beef stock. First of all, I'm just going to put a little bit in just to make sure we've got it going, and then pop the rest in. You see there, just enough to cover everything over. Now at this stage, you're going, well, that looks a bit runny. As it stews, as it breaks down, the flour that you've coated the beef in will start to release. It'll start to thicken up. Everything will start to break down. And now it's all about just putting the lid on it and letting it cook through. And it'll take 2-3 hours on a medium-low heat. So again, you just crack it a little bit, let it go, and you can see here it's thickened up beautifully. It's spluttered all over my top there as well, and you can see that it's broken down. The sauce has become nice and thick and glossy. It has been spurting across the the hob there. I'm just, what you can't see, I'm trying to show you but you can't see it, is I just picked up a carrot and split it with the spoon, so you know that it's cooked. Great bit of camera work there, single dad, well done. And then what you want to do is turn it all off. There we go, finally realises, moves it in a bit. And you can see it's still bubbling away, beautiful. It's thickened up nicely. And then what we're going to do now is we're just going to let that reduce down. Now at this stage, this is where I don't add any more salt in. I did taste it, and it just needed a little bit more pepper. So give it a stir, give it a go. Then you just one last taste. Perfection. Different spoon to give it a stir. Make sure you've got everything off the edges. You can see there, the sausage thickened up beautifully. We've put the lid on it, we've turned everything off. We're letting it cool. Get yourself your oven-proof dish. And then all we're going to do now is we're just going to transfer all that beautiful stew, the steak pie filling, into the dish, making sure that you don't leave anything behind. So give your pan a good old scraping and get that in. Then let it cool. You don't want to be putting pastry on top of a roasting hot pie filling, otherwise it'll just stick and it won't rise. So we've got the pie filling, got that all done. Next thing we're going to do, so you see there, excuse me, it's all cooled down. And now we're going to just add in the pie crust, nice and simple. And you can make it fancy, you can cut all the edges, you can do all that, but just for saving time and getting it all organised, I've got some pre-rolled, ready-made puff pastry that I'm just going to lay over the top, and I'm going to measure it out and then quickly cut it. And you can see here, I think I'm fighting with the as I'm unrolling it. The most trickiest part, there we go. So I'm just rolling it out, you see there, sticking to it a little bit. So get to the right size, take it off, move your pie filling out the way, get it over, give it a slice, and this is where I'm saying to you, you can then trim it all up, you can do whatever you want to it. I've left it whole just to make, I'll be honest, my life so much easier. You can always trim it once it comes out, and then there you have it. I've got the dish, I'm just stretching it out, make sure it covers all edges. Put a big slice in the middle so that the steam, as it's cooking, it will release the steam so it doesn't get a soggy bottom. Mary Berry, if you're watching, no soggy bottoms here. And then bit of egg wash, cover the whole thing in egg wash. And then you're going to sprinkle a little bit of salt over the top, and that just gives it an extra dimension to your pastry. You should always egg wash and sprinkle a bit of salt on your pastry. It just crisps it up for you there. Guys, while I'm doing my best painting and decorating moment there, I just again want to say thank you very much for all the support so far on the channel. It does humble me quite a bit to see people are watching in Canada, America, here in the UK. We've got people watching in Australia. Literally, it seems like all parts of the globe, which is crazy to think. Absolutely crazy. Once I've done that, I'm going to pop it in the oven. Now for this, what I normally tend to do is I tend to put it in another roasting tray, just so any bits, it just makes it easier to handle. So going to pop that into a roasting tray, into the oven. My oven's at 180 degrees Fahrenheit, Celsius that is, sorry, so it's about 350 Fahrenheit. And once it's all done, we'll get to the finished article in a second. So here it is. Here's the finished article. Nice and easy, nice and simple. Time is your friend on this. And like always, this year I hope you get everything you want. From my family to yours, thanks for watching. And until the next video, Single Dad, signing off.